Welcome in to the Fun Astrology Podcast. Let's kick off this new week of May 15th. Hope all you moms had a wonderful day yesterday celebrating you and the gifts that you have brought into the world. All right, we are going to turn the page and move into a couple of weeks of some tense astrological energy, but we're going to look at both sides of the coin. You can bet on that. I had about 8 questions, I think, come in between Thursday and Friday. 3 of them Robert and I are going to tackle on Old Soul, New Soul. And then some of them I have given to Kristen in the Discord group. So those of you who are wanting to develop your synthesis skills and your astrological interpretations would love to have you comment on these questions. If you're not in the Discord group, the link to it is right at the top of the funastrology.com website. There are some social media icons up there. It's the one on the right. Let's roll in here because we do have a lot to talk about. 3:55 this morning, the moon entered Aries. It's one of the things I'm following in this financial market stuff is it seems that we're on this pattern. We'll see if it holds today and tomorrow, where the market finds a top when the moon is in Aries and Virgo. Now, Virgo will be next Friday. Aries is today. Let's see how that correlation holds up. And then at 9:44 this morning, Mars trines Neptune. And there is the powerful spiritual kick that we will need going into the next couple of weeks. And yes, I know Mars is closing in on the end of its transit through Cancer. We'll talk about that here in just a second. As far as I'm concerned, a couple of things going on in my life. I'm going to be focusing this week on getting ready for Fred's seminar, and that is going to be doing a lot of grounding. I'll be leaving here next weekend, get to see my daughter for a couple of days. She is on a business trip in Florida, so we're going to connect in her time off. That will be fun. And there's going to be a new grandbaby Miller probably tomorrow. They're inducing tonight, so we'll see on that. So that will be little baby William, and the biggest thing I'm curious about is, will he have an Aries Jupiter or a Taurian Jupiter? Makes a difference, you know. Now, I am seeing a lot of negativity out there in the astrological community. So as you're listening to other sources of stuff, you're probably picking up on some of that. So let's kind of parse through this of what's going on. And then let's keep in mind that all coins have 2 sides. The biggest angst is coming from the moon, which is early degrees Aries now, moving across basically the real estate of Jupiter, the north node of the moon, Mercury, Uranus, and then, of course, the sun entering Gemini later this week. And that is delicate real estate. And the Hellenistic astrologers are talking about the moon bringing with it the planets that it just crossed over, namely, in reverse order, Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto. So it's moving toward that stack that I just mentioned, bringing with it the energies that it just left. At least that's the Hellenistic interpretations, which usually do tend to be more shadow side. You know, they didn't talk about this being a time of transformation and heightened spiritual awareness as the moon has just crossed over Neptune. Did you feel the psychic connection? Did you feel the intuitive connection? Did you feel a little bit of disruption, perhaps? Well, that's the moon telling you that this stuff is boiling. It is. There's a cauldron, and the moon and Neptune together will give you some insight into that if you're in tune with it. But if you're worried about it, if fear is the predominant emotion, then yeah, not so much. Now, there's another piece of real estate that I have put on my chart, and that is the midpoint between the sun and the moon. So if you just look at today's chart, for example, you'll be able to eyeball where it is, but on the chart, at least set for up around, what am I looking at today? I moved everything up to the top of the chart today, 11:15 a.m. Asheville time. And the sun and the moon are at 29 degrees, 23 minutes, Aries. So sitting right there, basically on Jupiter. So everything about Jupiter leaving Aries, entering Taurus is amplified in everything that you and I are right now. And Pluto is sitting at 0 degrees Aquarius. And that's a square to 0 degrees Taurus. And then you have the north node of the moon at 3 degrees Taurus, and Mercury, now just stationed direct, 2 degrees over at 5, also very amplified. And Mercury and the north node of the moon close together tend to kind of have disruptive abilities. Okay, that's why everybody is so nervous. And remember, tomorrow, Jupiter enters Taurus officially at 1:20 p.m. Tomorrow, we'll talk about some of the market implications that has had going back. It was there with the big tech bubble when it burst in 2000. So we'll talk about that and bring it back to 1976 to 82, which I think is the closest parallel, and some of the things that have happened around Jupiter entering Taurus. Then on Wednesday, the moon enters Taurus and Jupiter squares Pluto. Now, what's the opposite of all of this? Well, it's obviously that there is spiritual transformation underway. What has the moon just done? Crossed over the transformational planets. Is anybody talking about that, please? Come on. I mean, okay, so yes, maybe to transform we have to tear some stuff down. Okay. Somebody sent me something over the weekend that was from Dolores Cannon, written back in 2008. And the gist of it was, be ready because we are the catalyst for the change. We are here to help facilitate the change, but we have to stand our firm ground. Well, this chart is giving us that ability because Jupiter in Taurus, regardless of what is happening around us, gives us that stability, that Taurian grounding. There is nothing more firm and stable than the bull with his back humped up and his horns down, getting ready to charge but not moving yet. I mean, that is a rock right there. So much so, they made a bronze of it that stands on Wall Street every day. The traders walk by and rub his nose. So what are you intending? Rub the bull's nose. Stand firm. We need you. And this is why we do Level Up on Sunday nights. I really hope that you'll join us. If you haven't checked it out, just go to the YouTube channel. Probably the easiest way to find us. Fun Astrology Podcast on YouTube. Live every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We send positive intentions into our lives, into each other, and into the world. It has had a profound effect. So these are the things that we need to be doing, and this is how we can spread and share the positive energy. So the thing is, as Jupiter gets ready to move in tomorrow, we'll talk more about this then, we are going to stay firm and grounded in these times. The moon will pass by. I mean, a couple of more days, and it's just gone from all of this stuff. Mercury turns direct, and it starts moving away from the node, so this too shall pass. We'll all still be here. Thanks so much for listening. Love you guys. Stay strong. Rub that bull's nose for me on the way in the door, all right?